Good morning. Welcome to ELDOA and abs today. So we're going to do maybe a third of the class is going to be abs, segmental strengthening. We're going to work some posture, some strength of the deep abdominal layer, the TVA. So we're going to do some abs that are real focused on posture. Okay, if you're just joining us, make sure you mute yourself. If you're on the replay, welcome, welcome. So start with your feet directly underneath your hips. Arms are long by your sides. I'm going to try to talk loud today. I forgot my earbuds. I'm so sorry, but we'll make it work. So just go ahead and march in place. A nice, easy march. The goal here is to stay light in the legs as if you're lifting away from the floor rather than pushing down into the floor. And begin to lift your knees hip height. We want the heart rate to go up quick warm up, make the most of our time together. Notice your breathing. Take some inhales through your nose and exhales through your mouth. Feel your best gravity line here. That means your head is directly over your shoulders. Shoulders are directly over your hips. For many of us, that means we have to pull the chin in slightly. It's as if your chin is pulling in towards the base of your skull to establish length through your neck. And then you keep that nice axial elongation and move the arms and legs faster. Let's add some arm work here. Take your elbows above your shoulders, arms go forward and out. Manage the position of your head. The biggest mistake I see is the chin up. Work with the intention of pulling up your heart rate. Shouldn't take long here. Good quality movement. All right, adding on, forward, out, straight up. That's it. Put a smile on your face. It's going to be a good day. Move faster than you'd actually like. Keeping the form, just moving faster. Awesome job. I think I messed up. Sorry. Forward, out, straight up. All right, now we'll just go straight up. It should feel like a jog. If you'd like to jog, please do. You should be getting breathless. Lift your knees. Final 10 seconds here. We're working for the cardiac output. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, and take the arms down. Nice easy march. Take one more big inhale and a big exhale. Let that heart rate come down. Walk your feet wide. Internally rotate your thighs and bend your knees. Keep the weight in the center of your foot. Here we'll warm up the low back by moving the pelvis into posterior and anterior pelvic tilt. Those knees are bent. You'll notice that you won't see my head moving up and down at all. And just demonstrating from the side, point your tailbone towards the floor, tailbone goes back out. You're isolating the movement in your low back, in your pelvis, and we're warming up the discs in the lower spine. If you have a little back pain this morning, make this small. Otherwise, really exaggerate pubic bone to belt buckle. Notice here, I'm not leaning back. If you lack flexibility, that will be your MO. All right, last 4, then we're moving on. Here's 3, 2. On your last one, stay there in that posterior tilt. Feel your lower back. It should be flat as if it's against a wall. We're taking that lumbar curve out. Arms are going to come out, shoulders away from your ears. Open your hands, peeling your fingers to the floor. Translate your rib cage to one side and come back to the center. Single side, ipsilateral. Good. There's no side bend in this plane, only a translation over. So pick up your rib cage, move it over to the side, and stay soft in your knees. 2 more in this direction. Hang on to that posterior tilt, other side. Great job. Weight is even in your 2 legs. Last 3, 2, and we'll go side to side. Take it slow at first. And just relax your hands. We're about to add a rotation with the arms. So one elbow crease goes down, then the other. Don't worry which one. It'll all fall into place. Here's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it up for a side bend. One hand on top of your head, the other arm behind. You still have a posterior tilt. And I know I repeat myself a little bit, but I have to remind you, have to remind myself. It's a side bend from the lumbar spine. Think about side bending from your navel. If you'd like to add that top arm, please do. To my more advanced students, both arms are externally rotating as you reach. Here's 3, 2, and we'll take it right over to the other side. Find the side bend first. Keep your chest straight forward. There's no rotation. And add that reach. Very good. Strongly point your tail towards the floor. It's going to limit your range of motion. That's how you know you're doing it well. Right? The goal is not to touch the floor. Last 2. And 1. Come down to your mat. I'm going to change the angle of my camera. There we go. All right. So go ahead and lie down on your back. This is our ab segment. The knees are bent, feet are flat, and the palms are flat on the floor. Keep your eyes open. Begin by flattening your spine to the floor, tucking your chin, and we're just going to lift the head. So begin to lift your head with your chin in. You'll slide your hands forward on the floor. And the goal here is to lift with the muscles of the neck. It's not an ab curl, right? It's just the neck. And then you'll roll the cervical spine back down. So chin in, like you're bringing your forehead to your knees, right? Slide the hands forward. My chest is still on the floor, and then you'll lower down. It's like a crunch for the neck here. Chin in, lift the head, keep the backs of your shoulders on the floor. We'll do 5 total. And please bring the chin down first. You do not want the chin pointing towards the ceiling. 1 more, chin in, lift the head. We'll hold this one, walk the fingertips forward. Pull your chin slightly towards the base of your skull and imagine a lift. Lengthen your neck upward towards the ceiling. And then lower all the way back down. Bring your right knee into table. So you have a 90-degree angle, your knee is directly over your hip. And we're gonna take the same arm, the right arm, you're just gonna press the back of your hand to the inside of your knee. Yeah, good, Libby, you got it. Try not to move the position of your leg, just apply a pressure. So your hand is pushing into your knee is pushing into your hand, and what you're gonna feel is a contraction of the abdominals, specifically through the pelvic floor and transverse abdominals. So you've got this nice squeeze, and we're just gonna hold here isometric, but take 3 breaths. Here we go, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Feel that resistance, hand to knee. And again, inhale nose. Exhale mouth. Try to work from the strength of your core, not just arm and leg. Give me one more breath here. And yes, you're gonna feel some hip as well. Okay, same side, same thing. Just take your knee in towards the midline. Right? So the foot towards the midline. So you've got an external rotation of the knee. So I took my foot, moved it in towards the other knee. So my heel is on top of the other knee. It's the same breath. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. And 2 more breaths on your own. You'll notice that you feel this one a little different in a slightly different location. If we want truly flat abs, we have to work the transverse abdominals, that deepest layer, and that's what we're doing right here. Okay, same thing, but take the foot out. So now the hip's in an internal rotation, 3 breaths. If you feel a lot in your shoulder, plug your shoulder back down to the floor. I've done this a few times. And on your last breath, let's make sure that knee is directly over the hip still. Okay, release, bring your foot to the floor. Now you know where we're going. Bring the other knee into table. You'll go back of the hand to the knee. We're straight on here for 3 breaths. Every inhale is an expansive breath. The whole torso expands. Every exhale is a contracting breath. You hug your navel in and the abs get tighter. Okay, last breath in this position. And then we'll take the foot in. So now the hip is in an external rotation, 3 breaths. Right? And really apply some strength here. Keep your back all the way down against the floor. Some of you needed that. All right, take the foot out, just swing it out. Knee is still over the hip, and 3 breaths. Right, you could just kind of sit here. This doesn't look like much, or you could really, really work. Give me 1 more breath. Bring your foot back to the floor and come up to sitting however you'd like to get there. Bring your feet in line with your hips. Grab your knees. Our arms are going to help us quite a bit here. Sit up tall. Find that gravity line position. Pull the chin in towards the base of the skull so we have a nice little double chin. Lean back just slightly, and we're going to move the pelvis only. So rock the pelvis back and rock the pelvis forward. So I'm rolling back onto my tailbone and rocking all the way forward onto my pubic bone. These are your good mornings. But we're going to make these really spicy today. So push your feet into the mat. And if you take my ELDOA class today, I love to say this is not ab work. I say that all the time, but I'm going to tell you today this is ab work. So start to think of it that way. Okay, notice I'm not collapsing my head forward. I'm trying not to. I do have trouble with that. I'm just trying to isolate the move to the belt buckle. Good. Now same move. Just take one arm forward, externally rotated, and you're going to push forward through your arm. Okay, push strongly forward. And try to stay very centered here. In other words, equal weight through both hips. Okay, switch it out, do the other side. Okay, so I'm going to show you what not to do here. So we're not moving the torso this way and this way, right? That's just hip flexion. I'm moving the low back, backwards and forwards. Think belly button backwards, belly button forwards. Okay, now all of these are progressions. Feel free to stop at whatever level you like, or you can take both hands forward. Guys, keep your feet on the floor, but open your knees slightly so it becomes more about the spine and lower belly and less about the hips. You'll feel your hips. We never ever want to hold the breath here. You can just keep your mouth open. That's a little trick. Right, knees slightly open, wider than the feet. This time we're going to come down about halfway. I want you to find a spot that's kind of sticky. Your feet might want to leave the floor, and you'll roll all the way back up into the same exact position you were before. Imagine your wrists are going to stay right on top of your knees. Mine don't exactly, but I have an excuse. I have super long arms. Okay. Bring your head with you. Right? You still have a chin in. We're looking for good form. This time we're going to go down to the waistband. Shoulders do not quite touch, and we're going to roll back up. Okay, now wait here for me. Inhale before you go, and you're going to exhale all the way through the down and up. Inhale at the top, and exhale to roll through. If that position is impossible for you, work it about halfway. Right? I'll modify, I'll show again. You're just going to work at your range. The goal is to make it nice and smooth here. Head travels with the body. Very good. Okay. This time we're going to go all the way down. The shoulders are going to touch. The head touches the floor. The chin stays in. So when you lift back up, I'm fully unrolling my spine off the floor. Okay, I've showed you form. You have options. We're going to do 10 more right here. Do not hold your breath. That is the way to put a lot of tension in your back. You work at your level, in your range, and as you get stronger, you move faster. It is very hard to breathe, to exhale all the way through the movement. As you do that, you're toning the thoracic diaphragm and taking good care of your back. How about 2 more? I know, I never said counting was my strong suit here. Very nice, full roll up and full roll down. Come all the way back down onto your back. You're gonna cross your arms so you touch one hand to the opposite shoulder, the other hand to the shoulder, and your elbows are pointing up. This is going to make sure that you're not using your arms against the floor. Bring your knees into a true tabletop and flex your feet. Okay, that means knees are directly on top of your hips. The back is flat. Eyes are down. Lift just your tailbone, right? So it's a reverse crunch, but I want you to keep it small. So the tailbone lifts and the tailbone lowers. Very good. You're not going to go any higher of a curl than L3, that's your navel. That would be the highest. Work to push your knees straight up rather than letting your knees rock in towards your chest, right? This is a small move. If you're in your neck, your move is too big, I promise. Okay, give me 3 more. And 2, it's little bitty, and yes, it's hard. Give me 1. Straighten one leg. Look at your knees. They're going to be on the same level, but not touching, right? Side by side, but not touching. Flex your foot, and we do the same exact action. Push that foot up towards the ceiling. Very good. I'll count you down. Here's 6, 5, 4, eyes down, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs, right? This is not about back pain. Keep it very small. We're working the sub-umbilical muscles below the belly button. Here's 6. Push with the foot. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 more set of 10 with both knees and table. Here we go. Push the knees straight up. Here's 9. Breathe, guys. Here's 6, 5. Maintain the back on the floor. Here's 4, 3. We're going to feel this tomorrow. And one more. Return one foot to the floor, other foot to the floor, and come up to sitting however you like to get there. So we're going to come into an all four points position, it's called, but we're going to come down to the elbows. Okay? If you need to interlace your hands, great. If you have palms on the floor, that works too. So shift your shoulders directly over your elbows and walk your knees back. Okay, my feet are separated. Really tuck your tailbone under. Give me a very, very big posterior pelvic tilt. Good, Libby. Let me show you what this exercise looks like. You're gonna rock yourself back, right? So the arms, the shoulders are going into some extension, and then we're gonna come forward. Okay, now just make sure when you come forward, you're not here, right? Shoulders over elbows, okay? So let's do it together, head in line with the body. You're in a big posterior tilt. You initiate the movement from the abdominals, send the hips back. Now, right here, make sure that you're not allowing the chest to drop and the back to arch. Scoop those ribs up and in, and we'll shift it forward. Tail is tucked. Good, we'll do 6 more, just like that. I have a big problem with this one, letting my ribs spill forward. I've got to scoop my ribs in and tuck my tail. Let's inhale to send the hips back and exhale to send the hips forward. Good. Always, always, we're pushing the forearms into the floor. Right? Not allowing the shoulder blades to sink. Give me 2 more from wherever you are. On this last one, we're going to hold the position where the shoulders are over the elbows. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, tuck the tail even more. And we hold for a count of 10 and 9. Breathe. 8. Elbows in. Don't let them drift. 7, 6. Tight thighs. 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower one knee at a time and come up to sitting. Let's do some ELDOA. Fantastic job. How are those abs? How'd those abs treat you? All right, I'm going to face you directly. This is L4, L5. Scoot back a little. As always, heels are 2 fist distance apart. The knees are open at 90 degrees. Let your feet relax. Let's come into a good seated gravity line position. Right? Make sure you're even on the pelvic floor. Relax your legs, relax your hips, and come into a normal breathing pattern, a diaphragmatic breath. When you inhale, the belly naturally expands, and an easy exhale. Right? How little kids breathe, they breathe with their tummy kind of out. That's how we're going to do it. The ELDOA is not ab work. The ELDOA is opposite of ab work. Okay, you got it. Keep your legs relaxed. Take both arms forward, externally rotated. Open your hands. Pull your shoulder blades together, pinch the grape, and push forward. We'll just do 6 here, just to reposition those shoulders after we did some planks. This movement is different from up and down, right? It's forward and back, protraction, retraction. On your last one, strongly push the shoulder blades apart, externally rotate, pull the chin in so the neck is long, and take those arms up. My legs are still relaxed. The belly's relaxed. I'm maintaining a straight spine and pushing upward with the shoulders. Imagine you're going to lift your lowest rib in your back away from your pelvis. Let's add the feet. Flex your feet. Angle your arches towards the floor. Gently push the knees to the floor as you go up through the torso. Good. It's hard for me to talk and have the appropriate amount of chin in, but I'm going to show you. I really want you to have that double chin and lengthen your neck in the direction of your arms. Very nice. Big rotation. I'm spinning the pinkies forward and picking up the back. This is the ELDOA for L4, L5. Let's breathe together for a final 10 seconds here. Eyes are open. Here's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, release one arm, release the other arm, relax your legs, but keep the spine in position. We're going straight for T12. Take one leg out to the side, look down at your pelvis, it has not moved. This bent leg can relax, you can relax your foot, and I'm gonna use my bent leg like a handle. Okay, if you're new to the ELDOA, please don't take your leg across, you're just not gonna get the same kind of movement here. This straight leg, flex your foot, and slide your leg out. Reach your leg even longer. Your heel may come off the floor. Make a link between dropping the sit bone down and reaching the leg out. In other words, the hip doesn't get to go with the leg. Sorry about it. All right. Give me an internal rotation of the hip. You're going to see your knee rotate in. It's nothing crazy. I'm focused on the reach here. Good. Take your hand upright on your straight leg. Find the balance, pushing both sit bones down. We're going to take the bent leg arm forward. If you have rotation in the torso, take that out. Slowly take your arm up, and this is your posture. Deep belly breaths in this one. So T12, if you imagine where your last rib is, if you can wrap that around to your back, that's about where we're working, T12, L1. Make a link between pushing the heel out and anchoring the sit bone down. Right? Now in your mind, make a link or a beam between the two sit bones. Push them evenly into the floor. Now make a link between the other sit bone and the arm. Right? One sit bone goes down, one goes up. Very good. We're going to spend our last few moments pushing that heel out and internally rotating the leg. I need you to work for it. Lift, lift, lift. Chin is in. I'm paid to do this smiling, but if I was taking the class, I'd be dying. Here's 4, 3, 2. Keep all of your height. Bring the arm down. We're just going to switch sides like the first side never happened. Heel in line with the hip. Put my cheat sheet back here. Yes, I still use a cheat sheet. All right, we'll move a little faster. Relax that leg. Okay, work for the flex and the reach. The hip is a ball and socket joint, right? Imagine that you're creating a little space within that ball and socket joint. Internally rotate the leg. Push out, 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 but anchor the sit bone down, down, down. Very good. Hand goes upright on the straight leg. Arm goes forward. Chin goes in. Before we progress, can you grow a little taller through your spine? Okay. And my people who love to throw those ribs forward, anchor those ribs in so the back is nice and flat. All right, take that arm up and we work. Okay. The hand does matter, right? You want to flex to put tension through the whole fascial chain, and you want to reach up through your shoulder. You can see I just corrected my rotation. Make a link. We go up through the arm. The energy goes down through the sit bone like a beam to the other side and out through the heel. Put the work in. I know it's quad heavy. That's where you get stronger. Deep diaphragmatic breaths. Can you correct your head? Right, the head loves to go to the straight arm. If I said to lengthen your neck, you could do that as well. Here's 6, 5, chin in, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that arm. Fantastic job. Take your legs back into this original position that we did our good mornings. Right, so knees at about 90. If you know where we're going, I don't need you super close yet. But find that gravity line. I'm going to use the strength of my arms to really pull myself as upright as I can be, with the spine as straight as I can manage with my own posture and what I have going on in my own body, right? So I'm nice and tall. Press the inner arch downward towards the floor, and you're gonna feel the knees wanna come in a little bit, a little inner thigh action. So we push the base of the big toe into the floor. I'm not gonna see this a whole lot, but I want you to think about pushing the knees slightly open. Right, so we have two things happening: arch towards the floor, the knees slightly opening, and you're gonna feel more activity in the hip joints. That's where I want you for this one. Take both arms forward, correct your head. Can you sit a little taller, as if you're taking your whole rib cage and you're picking it up away from your pelvis? Strong arms, guys. Take just one arm up, just one. Can you maintain the legs and the evenness on your pelvis? Okay, just breathe. Push strongly, very good. And I know this front arm likes to drop, so yeah, I didn't even have to look at you to know that. Take both arms forward, change sides. I don't know about you, but one side, easy peasy, the other side, not so much. We're correcting these imbalances. Lift up through your arm. Take both arms up, and here we work. Only 30 seconds here. Work the inner arch into the floor. Energetically press the knees open, and energetically lift the shoulders up. 3 more deep breaths together, belly breathing. And I always know you're doing it because you grow taller when you belly breathe. That's why we don't tense the abs when we do the ELDOA. We would not be able to get the height and the decompression away from the spine. Okay, one more breath. Bring one arm down, other arm down. Nothing changes here. Walk your feet a challenging level in towards your body. In other words, if I let go, I want to fall backwards. Okay, we're gonna move a little faster through this. We have 30 seconds. I'm gonna ask you to go into a realm where you feel resistance, where you feel like you're gonna fall, but we're gonna work through that. Okay, inner arch, arms help you create that lift. Head is directly over the pelvis, right? That doesn't mean you lean back. It just means your head tries to find the wall behind you. Okay, everybody stay here. Take a big, deep, deep belly breath in. Take a breath out. On our next inhale, we're going straight up. And we work. Okay, this should not look pretty. Whenever I try to take pictures in this pose, it's like full of chin. Reach those shoulders up. I'm gonna face the side so you can see how I'm not quite perfect. I'm not where I wanna be because I'm asking my spine to lift. Very good. Inner arch to the floor. Very good. Take those arms a little forward so you take your head back. There you go. Good. If your shoulders are tight, don't let the head follow. Head stays in line with the body. Okay, final 10 seconds. Let's do it together. Big inhale, you go up. Exhale, you maintain what you found. Again, big inhale. Push for it, push for it. Exhale, maintain. One more, shaking is good. Up, up, up. Stay for that exhale. Bring one arm down. Bring the other arm down. Bring your legs back into a more of a 90-degree position and just take a few easy pelvic rocks. Very nice. All right, we're gonna work today we're not gonna do neck because we already have done some neck with our core segment, but we're gonna work the space between your shoulder blades. That is T3 through 5, okay? And you're warmed up for this. I'm gonna turn my mat so that you can see. Come into 4 points, okay? All 4s, you know how to do that. Spread your fingers and your fingers are gonna point out to the sides. Okay, you're in this good stacking alignment, shoulders over your hands. Very nice. So just one time, we're going to round the spine into cat. Give it a little stretch, tuck your chin. I'm going to keep you here for a moment. You're upside down looking through your legs. And then you'll drop your belly and stretch the breastbone forward. Right? This is not just a relaxed position. This is a length, this is a stretch. Good, exactly. And then take all the curve out of your lower back and find your best flat back position you can manage. I don't propose to be perfect here, but I'm taking that lumbar curve out. Very good. If your shoulder blades are sinking together, I'll ask you to push away from the floor and glide the shoulder blades apart. Okay, that doesn't mean you round the spine. Once you've got that, look straight down at the floor so that your head is in line with your spine. And maybe you pull your face a little further away from the floor. So it's just like when we're seated with a double chin, except we're in a all fours position. Keep the position of your spine. Just shift your weight back slightly to your legs, because we're going to be here for a hot minute. And take your right arm straight forward. The fingers point away from the face. Work to push the right shoulder forward and to push the left shoulder into the floor. Think about your shoulder blades trying to get away from one another. Avoid rotating the spine. Stay as square as you can be. With a strong chin in position, we're lengthening the neck and lengthening, stretching the shoulder forward. Your intention is to open the space between your shoulder blades at the level of the spine. Final 3 breaths here. Again, shift your weight back to your legs. This is a tough one. Chin in, chin in. Here's 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that arm down. Just come down and relax for a moment. Maybe shake out the wrists. All right, right back up. Find your flat back position. A lot of times I'll see either the head dropping or I'll see a flexion at the skull, and I don't want either one of those things. I want the shoulders and the ears far away from one another. Okay, once you've got your spine in position, take the left arm straight forward. It's not just hanging out, it's reaching, right? The whole shoulder lifts. The arm that's on the floor, provide good support by pushing away from the floor. Glide your right shoulder away from your ear to lengthen your neck. That connected with some of you, very nice. Okay, try to level out the shoulders and push through the arms. 10 seconds to go. It's fine to sit back a little on your hips. You might be able to work stronger with the arms. Here's 6, reach, 5, good, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that arm down, come up to a completely upright kneeling position. We're gonna do a full round of myofascial stretch for the psoas. We worked it a lot today. Y'all made it, right? That was a tough one, right? Okay, take one leg forward. And we've been working on this one. If you don't get it on your first go round, that's okay, it really is. This one takes a while. So I'm gonna take my foot as far out from my body as I need to feel that I have balance. And the front foot, turn it forward, right? So you see how my knee's a little bit in? This helps me find my balance. Take the pelvis and move it in a few anterior, posterior pelvic tilts. Noticing how very different that is from this and this, right? That's not where we're going. We're here and here. Once you've got a big posterior tilt, L3's at your navel. I'll ask you to push L3 backwards the entire exercise. Lean down onto your knee. Just stay as square as possible. We're looking for a stretch in the psoas. You may have to come forward just a little bit more to find it, but here's what we're not doing, right? I know that there's a stretch there, but it's not the right one. So point that tailbone down and work for that stretch. Okay, go with intention. The more the tailbone is down, the more the front of the hip will open up. We'll just stay here for 2 more breaths. And change legs. And I'm gonna face the side again because it's a great way to see it, right? So the foot is out, balance is easy. Anterior, posterior pelvic tilt, one side is much harder. Find the posterior tilt, and you're just coming straight down, right? There's no rotation, it's just straight forward. If I put my finger behind your belly button, I would ask you to push back against me. That's what I would do if you were here. I miss in person. I miss touching people. It's not quite the same. Keep that axial elongation. Sometimes just lengthening the spine upwards is the missing piece to this one. Just hold and breathe. And release. I'm going to face the front again as we change legs. And we can progress if you wish, right? Find your posterior tilt, find your lean. My back foot, if I move it out to the side a little, now that it'll peek out, my heel is going out in that direction, I can work a bigger stretch through the psoas because I've internally rotated my thigh. Okay, if that works with you, great. If not, stay where you were. We're going to take the same side as the down knee and extend the arm forward, really pushing the shoulder forward. Okay, again, belly button L3 pushes backwards. Okay, this is a position thing. I'm feeling a huge stretch on the left side. How are you doing over there? She's there. Yeah, very good. The arm can come a little bit higher if you feel it more. Just watch L3. There's no arch in the back. And slowly release. Same on the other side. Okay, first things first, posterior tilt. Find your lean. Okay, I'll take your heel sometimes and push your heel out to the side, right? It's heel. There it is. Okay, just make sure that that doesn't rotate your pelvis. That pelvis is still forward. All right, add the arm. Reach with the intention of stretching your hip more. You'll feel that fascial chain from the lat into the psoas. Final 2 breaths. And release. We'll do 1 more on each side. I have even another progression for you. Take it or leave it, posterior tilt. Okay, you can do the back foot. We're gonna come right up. Good. If you're not feeling this stretch, don't do this next move because it probably means you can't fully do a posterior pelvic tilt. Okay, so if you don't really feel the stretch, keep working to pull the belly button backwards as you reach the arm forward. Otherwise, we're gonna do a little baby side bend away from the back leg and reach hard with the arm. Okay, that should light you up. Be careful you don't rotate too much. Y'all are doing great. 1 more breath here, 1 more big reach. Stay for your exhale. Oof. Release, yes, indeed. Okay, 1 more on the other side. Posterior. Set it up. I'm exaggerating this for you guys. I really don't need this much. I feel a big stretch. All right, yeah. So take that arm forward and up. Okay, chest is square. You had a tail, you'd be tucking it between your legs. Really important. It's a really big deal. We can do a baby side bend. It happens at the lumbar spine, at the lower back. It's not a rotation. It's a lean and a reach. Our final 3 breaths today, and then you have made it through class. I hope you continue to breathe throughout your day. Oh, we're getting silly in here. All right, one more deep breath in. One more full exhale. And release. If you are at home and you know L5 with legs up the wall, you can go ahead and do that now. I generally don't do that in class, but it is a really good way to end an ELDOA class. So you'll just lie on your back with your legs straight up the wall. Okay, I'll stay on a few minutes if you have any questions. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll end the recording.